Yo, YouTube. So I just wanted to make this video real quick because I was talking to someone today about the housing market, and it's like I try to stay out of 3D shit, but it's like I spent a lot of time in politics, a lot of time trying to learn like how we got here. Like I've always been into history, so I just know a lot about it, and it's very hard for me to stay out of the 3D world. I will tell you that all day. But and then when you see shit play out with astrology too, because it's like this whole Pluto and Capricorn thing, like I'm literally watching the decimation of our financial structures. Like, people don't understand that in 1933 they enacted Glass-Steagall to prevent banks from investing in private lending because it's a natural conflict of interest, period. Banks are in the business of private lending. You can't invest what you're in the business of. And we see that the feds are starting to pay for this because in October of 2021 they are prohibiting their officials who make fucking trading policy and regulation policy from owning and trading stocks and bonds. Like, because yeah, you shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't, and your whole business should not be able to, especially when the feds are the largest mortgage-backed security holders there are. Come on, let's talk about it, Rothschilds. Anyways, I'm done. Whatever. So with this happening right here, right? So you've got the feds owning all this debt. So I'm like talking to somebody about it. I'm like, okay, whatever. Fuck the rates. Fuck if the housing market crashes, right? Because after the stock market crash, people lost their entire life savings, their 401ks, all this shit. And even more people couldn't pay their mortgage, and even more people lost their houses, right? So it wasn't necessarily just the housing crash. It was also the stock market crash that really enabled people to go up and buy a bunch of houses, right? It was like the domino effect of it all that created the atmosphere in 2008. And so it's like we're here again because in 2010 we passed Frank Dodd, and then in 2018 Trump like took a lot of that shit back, like with his laws. Like he changed a lot of that shit in 2018. And I seen this like when I took a hiatus from the car business in 2017 and I returned in 2018, and niggas was geeked. They was geeked. They was loving it. They was loving it because the regulations have been loosened. So I'm not sure, as far as the home market or the mortgage, financing. Like, I haven't been in that type of lending, but I am sure that subprime lending and auto finance is like only increased since 2018. I am more than certain of it. And because the economy needed the boost, I guess. I don't fucking know. But regardless, my thing is anybody buying up these loans as investments? Are the banks buying these loans as investments? And will we see more subprime lending happening now that rates are going up? Will we see more people with no down payments and risky loans getting approved because they can't even really meet these high rates and stuff? And because of inflation. So it's a perfect mix to see a housing market crash and people not being afford to pay. But my question is when people can't pay, we're going to see what comes out in the wash. Who invested in these CLOs? Because they're back. Like, after I just read an article today, so so whatever, I'm not a fucking financial expert by any means. I'm not professing to be. But what I'm saying is, in 2010 they went down to 70 billion because they were too high in 2008 when shit crashed. It was 200 billion in investments in these fucking or banks held 200 billion in investments in CDOs, which were these like mortgage-backed security bundles. Now here we are in 2022 and they own 158 billion. I mean, aren't we right back there? So as inflation, so we're going to have to wait for the economy. We're going to have to wait for inflation to hit everybody, for people to start defaulting like a motherfucker, and we're going to see who owns the debt. It's going to come out in the wash. Who owns the debt? Who invested in the debt, rather, who invested in the debt, and who's going to lose?